evening, everybody. Joe Tessitore and Teddy Atlas welcoming you to the famed New York Arena here in Midtown Manhattan for a much-anticipated main event. 12 rounds in the light heavyweight division between Bernard Hopkins and Chad Dawson. Hopkins' unpredictability belies his ring walk focus. He is ready for action. Dawson's making that final walk that separates man and warrior, soon to be in battle there in the ring.
Remember, guys, obey my commands at all times. Let's have a good, clean fight. Touch him up.
Just the opening round of 12 scheduled for tonight's bout. We expect a high work rate among these two fighters. Now, do you want to see that same work rate throughout the whole fight? Or is that your expectation?
I'd love to, because we'd be having a good time and our fans, they're going to enjoy it.
Halfway through round number one. Good job staying away from the danger there. See how he targets that hook? Blocks that punch. Good block. He scores with the jab. And now we got a fight. He fires back a right hand of his own.
Keep working the body.
Last 10 seconds of this first round. And that round comes to an end. And you know, I've turned to you many times throughout our careers broadcasting together and said, why is this guy not throwing punches? I just don't get it, Teddy.
Well, there's two reasons usually. One is he's not in shape. In this case, I think he's in shape. He doesn't want to throw. I know that boggles your mind, too. What do you mean he doesn't want to throw? You're thinking to yourself, he's a fighter. He's in the ring. He knows that he has to throw punches. But if he throws punches, he also has to put himself in a position where the guy's going to throw back. That means he has to take more chances. And some guys would rather not take those chances.
Hopkins is showing you a little defensive skill there, able to move away from that punch.
Body shot, body shot.
Bernard Hopkins is really in position to control things in this fight if he can do what he did just there, and that's land a good, solid jab. Back to basics here, as you can see the jab becoming a key instrument for him.
Boxing 101. You have an opponent walking in, you want to stay on the outside, use that jab.
Oh, that's a good hook to the body. Halfway through round number 2. Flush right hand to the body. Bernard Hopkins is doing exactly what you should to be a strong defensive fighter. You got to block those punches away. Nice block that time. It was intended to the head. Bernard Hopkins is way off the mark. That punch didn't have a chance. 10 clicks of the talk. Dawson's inability to really step on that gas pedal and just be a little more offensive-minded is really catching up with him. That last round was unimpressive.
It's just not his temperament. And you know what? I'm afraid it's not going to change right now. It's kind of like being in a room, being in a party with somebody, and you say, hey, come on, talk a little bit more. You know, everybody else is talking. It's just not his way. He's not a talker. This guy is not a busy fighter.
The fight is too close. You hear me? It's too fucking close. We don't want this to go to the judges' scorecards, right?
And round number 3 is underway. Keeping his hands up, getting rid of his opponent's offense. Not able to connect with the uppercut. Gets rid of that body shot. Dawson's blocking ability is doing well for him there. Coming to the halfway point of this third round.
Back to the body.
Unable to score with the uppercut that time. Solid left hand to the head.
Come on, kid, focus.
Thought he had his target. Hook to the body. Oh, that got to him. Wow, stunned moments ago, but now somehow, some way, surviving well.
You know, Joe, I had a fighter once that got dropped in a round, and he wasn't doing real good up to that point. After that, he fought better. He boxed better, he fought better defensively, and when the fight was over, I said, good job. You know, he whispered to me. He whispered, did I get knocked out? Yeah, he did. Huh. He didn't know what had happened. I realized then he was fighting on instinct the rest of the night.
Amazing story. And round 3 comes to an end.
Finish this. Keep going. Just keep going. You're doing great. But let's keep working out.
Keep circling. Don't fight his fight. Jab more, jab more, jab more. I need you to throw more punches. Body, bang, the body. Hit the body.
Start of round number 4 as we look at Teddy's scorecard. I think this is pretty much what we expected. We thought it would be a good, fair, competitive, balanced fight, and it's even so far.
No, not much to separate the two fighters. Right now, both of them working on the outside using their jab. I think it's going to come down to, does one guy decide to have a more educated jab? Maybe hook off it, do something a little bit more with that jab.
Hopkins, his movement's really helping him out, avoiding that punch. Chad Dawson's right hand scores well that time. Took a shot, now he gives a left. Gets rid of that. It was intended for his head. Right to the belt line. He's showing what a skilled fighter he is with this counterpunching. He clearly came in with a strategy here tonight, Teddy, and so many times it's, hey, I'm going to bang that drum.
Yeah, he is banging that drum. That drum happens to be the body, and he figures that he's going to try to move on him, so start doing it early on, and later on, he's going to have a guy in front of him.
Unload!
Bernard Hopkins is proving to be elusive. I like the way he went up top that time with the hook. Hopkins is impressing the judges and himself with that right hand. Right to the body. The countdown, the final moments of this round. There are times in every boxing division where there's a changing of the guard. Chad Dawson is the personification of that changing in recent years in the light heavyweight division. Because that older guard, guys like Glenn Johnson, Antonio Tarver, he had 4 straight wins against that group. 2 against Johnson, 2 against Tarver.
That kind of consistency shows you that he's more than just Johnny-come-lately. He's a guy that has good skill sets, but a guy who day in and day out puts it together, comes with that professional work ethic, and a guy who mentally rises to the occasion every time he gets in that squared circle.
Good action throughout. We'll see if it keeps up in this round, what has been a very even fight.
Use the jab.
Head, body, head, body.
Well, his opponent is opening up and coming forward, so I would think there are some opportunities that exist.
Yeah, I think some counterpunching opportunities. Opportunities not on the front end, but on the back end.
That's a big uppercut that just crashed home.
Stay away from the...
Dawson's punch didn't come close. What a great job. He gave one right back in return. Nice work by Chad Dawson.
Back to the body.
Still plenty of time to work here in round number 5. Minute and a half to go.
Keep moving. You're not focused. Pace yourself. You're doing great.
Some fine fundamentals. Good counterpunch.
Nice mousetrap there. He let him in beautifully. He didn't use cheese. He used distance.
Targeting that belt line with the right hand. Good flush shot upstairs. And he returns on that exchange. Dawson's not the kind of guy that's going to float like a butterfly at all. He's more like an elephant just camped out.
And he's getting stung by a lot of bees right now for camping out.
Coming to the end of round number 5, last 10 seconds. Needs to improve that accuracy, missed with the headshot. Dawson's coming off another close and competitive round, but still, Teddy, I think he's slightly down on the scorecards.
Yeah, the key is not what you think, Joe, even though I love what you think, but the key is what he thinks. He has to know that. It's very important for him, and a lot of times, a guy under pressure wants to know what he wants to know. He wants to maybe think in his mind that he's ahead, and it's important that somebody gives him the news.
Don't fight his fight.
And we are back underway. Another round in a fight that's been very entertaining, but I wouldn't want to be a judge. This is one of those fights that could go either way.
One, two. 1, 2.
More punches.
Dawson's on the receiving end of a hook. Bernard Hopkins really has a way of almost going into a shell. Plus, he gives his opponent such angles. He is a very tough defensive fighter to conquer. His opponent wanted the body. He wouldn't give it to him.
1, 2. 1, 2.
Nice block.
You got this one.
Final 10 seconds of the 6th round. Great movement to get away from those punches.
All right, listen. You need to create more punches, okay? Slip his punch and throw a straight right down the middle. Listen, you're not working. You're not working. You're not working on anything you worked on. You're not double.
More than one punch now. Got it? More than one punch. Look at me. You're doing well, but I need to...
Start of this round, start to the second half of this fight. First half of this fight, he completely dominated the action, Teddy.
Yeah, but you know what? It's kind of like they said in that movie, The Gambler. You know, they don't pay off at halftime. remember the guy wanted to collect his
Absolutely.
bets? Well, same thing. He's got another half of the fight. Can he be consistent? Can he keep his concentration? Can he keep doing what he's been doing?
Good job!
Able to cover up that gut.
Jump on him. Nice.
Hopkins is showing us that defense is also very much part of his game.
Yeah, it is. Not only to avoid punches, but actually to even set up offense. You know, he'll make you miss, and then there's something coming back. He creates opportunities to hit you.
At the halfway point of round 7. And he just holds on there.
Nice work. Nice work. You got this one. Keep it up.
10 seconds to go in the 7th. And that's the end of round 7.
Deep breaths. Deep breaths. That's it. Now listen. Here you go.
You need to capitalize on his mistakes. I want to see that counter hook. Make him pay for his mistakes. Listen to me. You're not giving me enough.
Beginning of round number 8 here. Teddy's scorecard has it in one direction. Hopkins is up on Teddy's scorecard. However, Teddy, I think there is some concern with him. He has taken some damage.
Yeah, it's not a day at the beach. He thought it was at the beginning, but that tide is rolling in.
Dawson's throwing lots of punches, and not many are landing. But what's that old saying? Hey, you put enough out there, something's going to stick.
Well, at least he's controlling the rhythm. He's keeping control of the pace right now, and at least when you're throwing, your opponent, for the most part, he's being handcuffed a little bit.
Oh, you're doing great. Keep working the jab. Good, good.
The halfway point of round number 8. That's a big right hand. Big shot. That's a heck of a stunner right there. Down he goes.
One, two, three, four, five.
Dawson's trainer is thrilled with this. He gets up off the canvas. Now he wants to see how he'll react. And you can see he wanted to do that as he holds on there.
Double up on your punches.
Bernard Hopkins is really doing a fine job here, Teddy. And I know everybody falls in love with the clean, effective punching, but you can make an argument that he's controlling this fight right now thanks to his head movement.
Yeah, you know, it makes me think about that legendary story about the old great Willie Pep, the Will of the Wisp.
Okay.
There was a legend that he actually won a round without throwing a punch, just by making his opponent miss, just by ring
Jab your
generalship.
way, okay? Whatever you do, throw that jab.
Okay, nice work, nice work. I don't want to see one punch now, all right? You're throwing the uppercut, but I need to see another punch after. He steps inside, uppercut and hook. Uppercut and finish.
The 9th round is here. Chad Dawson's reached that fork in the road now. You get a moment to breathe, a moment to try to clear your head after being knocked down, and it's up to your mind, your body, your disposition as to how do you react and go forward. Oh, a big shot comes home for him. And once again, he goes down. The question is, can he rise up again?
One, two, three, four, five.
He gets up after that punch put him down on the canvas.
Now he needs to get on that bicycle and stay away from this guy.
Chad Dawson doing the right thing here. You gotta survive. You can't go down.
You're not focusing.
Keep working the body. Back to the body.
90 seconds into the 9th round. Hopkins is making for a very frustrating round now for his opponent. How about that left right there? There it is! Can he beat the count? I don't think so here, Teddy.
Now I know where they got that saying, falling like a sack of potatoes.
One, two, three,
is over. A knockout victory, unable to beat the count. To make it official, let's send it up to the ring. It's late in the fight, and it looked like we were going to get a decision out of this. Bernard Hopkins' power makes it a knockout.
Reminiscent of some of the great late knockout fights in the history of this sport.
For Teddy Atlas, I'm Joe Tessitore. That does it ringside. We'll see you next time at the fights.